I'm only 16 and never did anything related to selling. I had an idea similar to satin line beanies. And wanted to, hey, speaking of creators, right? I wanted to create a product for it. Where do I go? How do I go about building a prototype? How would I mass sell it? Is it possible for someone under 16 to create and sell a product, or only for adults at age 18 and up? Lots of questions there. I have so many questions. And someone give me an in-depth answer. Oh my goodness. Lots of places to go there. Do you want to kick us off on this?
So I'm going to find an easy question in there. It's like, can somebody 16 kind of create something? That's not quite what you're asking, I don't think, but the answer to that is absolutely yes. But if I'm 16 and I can only sell it to people who are 18 and over, right? Maybe it's I'm not completely sure about this case, but think about something, a smoking apparatus, like the cigarette holder that's this long, right. Something like that. It's like, it can't be sold to somebody under 18. I think you can still create that. You can still invent that. You might have to work with somebody else to maybe put that through a site or some other location where it's 18 and up, need to be involved, et cetera. But there's really no reason in my mind that you can't be the creator of it. You may run into some struggles when you start getting into contracts and things like that. It kind of depends on where you sign that right. contract, because the age of majority isn't the same everywhere. And you could be asking this question from absolutely anywhere. So as far as like, I've got the idea, I'd like to do this, absolutely correct. But there might be some of those things you need to work through.
Yeah.
What about JD? What about prototypes? Let's just talk about a cigarette holder that you've got a great idea for. Instead of being straight like Penguin did, maybe it goes like this or something. Just as an example, because I'm curious, come up with something and I want to make a prototype. I can barely make my own TV cabinet that we were just talking about a minute ago.
Yep.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, a few things here. I mean, to me, the age thing is pretty cool. Classic case of, it's true that an inventor, to be an inventor, you don't need to be a adult. You can be any age to be an inventor named at the patent office. The later questions, I think, go to what you were talking about in terms of how you're going to be able to transact, contracts, having ownership. Ownership may be an interesting question. If you have, certainly you can open up a bank account and you can have access to money. You can likely sell, but you can't really, I don't believe, execute contracts, to be able to list them online, say at Amazon.com, for example, or to engage in legal contracts, you might be limited or reduced. So I think it may be wise to consider bringing on a partner, maybe even a parent or someone who's of age who can work with you and be a part of your business. Set up an entity. It's a common recommendation I make when you're going to be engaging in, even with a third-party prototyper or designer. Usually wise to have a contract in place to maintain confidentiality. And again, you're going to probably want to have someone on your team that's an adult. They can, sign that contract, make sure that's going to be binding and enforceable on anyone who might breach it. But, satin line beanies, I don't know much about that industry or what you've created, but if you think it is unique and you think there's a big enough market, for these types of beanies, right? This is, I assume, a beanie you wear, satin line, maybe it's got less friction or, it has a bit of a sleek look. Hats are huge. I mean, maybe there's a big enough market that would warrant investigation to see if it's patentable. And when it comes to apparel, I think about design patents. It's sort of an easy, at least initially, lower investment. But what you have is functional benefit. Like I said, if it has lower friction, if there's some way to actually provide, additional warmth or some benefit utility to the hat, you can for patent protection as well for that. Yeah, lots of questions there, lots of places we could go in further. So we'll stop there for now.